legacy have you left? What will people remember of you? A man of integrity, a faithful steward, or will you have the opposite of you? Well, that is what you all work towards, that you leave a legacy. And it is a life well spent, one would say. However, away from that, there's still something to celebrate. And today we are going to be looking at 100 years of the Girl Guide Association in Uganda. Now, when we talk about Girl Guides in Uganda, many people have memories of these, more so in schools. I, for one, I remember Girl Guides in Nakasero Primary School, where these were smart girls putting on blue and yellow. I would see them in any public function. There are people that go and help around. However, joining me on set to give us more of this is the chairman organizing committee of the Centenary Celebrations, and that is Rita Kihembo, with me in studios. Rita, I must say you're smart.
Thank you very much.
The scarf and of course the blue takes me way down the memory line when I remember my classmates, other Girl Guides then, and of course the decoration, these badges. I see well decorated. I don't know which rank you are at, but definitely, how have you been?
I'm fine, thank you. Well, Girl Guides is not ranks, but it's a progressive journey. So all this is due to progressiveness that we've had over the years. Yes.
Well, when I look at our constitution, many Ugandans may not know, but Girl Guides was officially launched in Uganda, that is in 1922, and that was on the 3rd of March, to be more specific, when by an act of parliament, and that is Article 43 and subsection 2, they were launched in our country to begin work. And that means on the 23rd, that is Wednesday this week, they will be marking 100 years. Rita, first, let's understand, what is this all about? Away from many of us seeing these smart young girls at public functions, giving direction, rescue, and all this, what is this Girl Guide Association about?
So Girl Guiding is a youth movement facilitated by adults. So that is why you see girls and women working together, and most people ask, but are you still girls? However, guiding looks at girls aged between 3 years of age until you feel that you're tired of guiding. However, when you join the movement, it is a forever promise. So Girl Guiding is a lifetime journey, and we emphasize it to be known as a game, because we, while guiding, we have fun, we enjoy ourselves, we work hard, we learn. So basically guiding is trying to build someone holistically, and that is what guiding is, even in Uganda and world over.
Globally, looking at statistics, we believe there are about 10.2 million Girl Guides. Coming back home in Uganda, we have about 436,086 Girl Guides in Uganda. So this is a very big movement.
Yes,
but help us understand. You talk about just guiding. When you go to schools, it's more like something that these girls are deeply rooted into. And I remember one time I wanted to join the Boy Scouts, but someone told me, my father was asking me, but what is this you want to join? Like, I was like, it's a movement, it's like a club, it is sort of, you don't even know what you want to join. So Girl Guides, you can't talk about Girl Guides and of course leave the Boy Scouts. So what is this all about?
So guiding, probably if I could start with our basic history, guiding all over the world started in 1910 in London or the UK, and cascaded down to Uganda or the rest of the world. And in Uganda, we were officially launched in 1922. It started in a place called Chebambe Girls, present-day Chebambe Girls, that is in Toro Kingdom, with about 8 girls, and spread out throughout the country. So it was started by our colonial masters through our education system. However, in Uganda, as much as we work in schools, we also work in communities. And that is why we have a big number, such as 436,086 members. Globally, we are present in 152 countries, and with a membership of 10.2 million girls. And these girls are not only embedded in maybe singing and dancing. We do quite a number of programs. We have what we call initiatives, and we also run projects. So under initiatives, we do things to do with body confidence, things to do with leadership, things to do with basically setting the girl to be ready for the world out there. While projects are specific to certain targets. For instance, here in Uganda, we have a number of projects that we run, such as the Alcohol Prevention Project. We run the Gender Equality Project that works with both girls and boys. We also run a membership project that helps us to grow our numbers and attract more young women and girls to join the movement. We also do exchange programs where we have girls, for instance, aged between 18 and 30, go to different countries to learn the culture and come back home and implement. So that's some of the work that we do in Uganda currently.
Very interesting. So much that's being done there to bring out, I want to call that person a well-packaged young lady, because what I saw in school, these girls were very confident, by the way. I remember one time a snake, as we were playing, all of us took off. But the girl guides and the Boy Scouts seemed having some tips, even in case you get that bite, how you handle yourself. I was like, hey, what happens? No, we do camping and all that. But how then does one join this movement?
So our movement is open to all. We are a movement that is open. We don't recruit based on race, based on ethnicity, based on religion. Our headquarters are on Buganda Road. However, we do have units up to the grassroots level. So in districts, we have local district associations, and in schools, we have units or companies that we run. So once you are recruited into this movement through your unit, that is at school level or at community level, you're supposed to register with the association. How do you register? Through your company, through your unit. And we have different subscriptions throughout our various branches. So our girl guiding program is divided into 6 branches in Uganda. That is rainbows, who are aged 3 to 6, and they pay 2,000 shillings for subscription. Then we have brownies, who are aged 7 to 10. They also pay 2,000 shillings for subscription annually. This is an annual fee. Then we have junior guides, those upper primaries, that is around P4 to P7, who also pay 2,000 Ugandan shillings. Then we have secondary school, and these are called ranger guides. Ranger guides pay 5,000 Ugandan shillings. And then we have young leaders or young women aged 18 to 30 who pay 10,000 Ugandan shillings annually. Then we have what we call adult leaders. So the adult leaders as well, even if you're 50, even if you're 80, you fall in this category, and they subscribe an annual fee of 20,000 Ugandan shillings. Then we also have the Trefoil Guild. These are people who are retired and or do not have time for active guiding, but are interested in supporting the movement and the kind of work that we do. So they also subscribe to the association for 20,000 Ugandan shillings annually. So basically we have a package for each and every one, and we are open for anyone that wants to join our movement.
Let's look at your contribution towards national development or socio-economic transformation of this country as Girl Guides, if there is.
Yes, so as Girl Guides, we are known for quite a number of things. And we are #1 change agents, social change agents, because in guiding, we invest a lot in what we call social entrepreneurship, carrying out social change in the communities in which we live. And one of the things as Girl Guides that we capitalize on is improving the societies in which we live in. For instance, we have challenges currently with global climate change, and we advocate for things like this. We have challenges with GBV, that is gender-based violence. We are top-notch in advocating for girls who are being affected by gender-based violence. We are a powerhouse in terms of advocating for girl-child education. So all these things fall into the categories in which we advocate for, and that is why you find time and again most of the girls, all the women leaders that we have in this country have at one time in their lives been part of the Girl Guide movement. Yes.
Really, that is true. I've seen many of them that have been in this Girl Guide movement. And One question that always comes to my mind, you've talked about community-based recruitment, but why do we see Girl Guides more found, pronounced when it comes to schools than any other?
Yeah. So initially, guiding started in schools.
Okay.
And the easiest way to recruit definitely is in schools, because there's masses, there's numbers, and we are able to have a set timetable. Given as well that our mother ministry is the Ministry of Education and Sports here in Uganda, it's easy for us because they advocate for our activities, part of their timetables and part of their programs. So having guides in schools is more elaborate, and that is why you find that even our largest numbers of leaders is our teachers.
Some are running on our screen right now.
Exactly.
That is the right. That is our former speaker, and now of course Minister for East Africans, the Deputy Prime Minister there. We've seen the likes of Rhoda Kalema, Joyce Mpanga. Many really still have really gone through this training. So you talked about schools being a fertile ground, the reasons you've given, and of course you've told us that there's so much you do in social transformation of this country. But let's also understand, you said this is a movement that goes right from grassroots.
Yes.
Empowering the girl child. But you only know 91 districts, if I am right, in Uganda.
Yes. So geographically, you know, Uganda, from time to time we have change in political borders. So why I mentioned 91 districts in this country is because every day there's a new district that comes up. So you find that people who were in the previous district are left behind, and we have to create a new structure. So our aim definitely it is to reach all over the country. However, because due to constraints in funding sometimes, or you find that today they've brought up a new district, we find ourselves being left behind. However, our goal for 2024 for our new strategic plan is to ensure that we have an inclusive movement that accommodates each and every girl throughout the country. Yes.
Well, Rita, also when we talk about Girl Guides, you're going to be celebrating just Wednesday 100 years of existence. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
But one of the things that we see in our education system, day by day, issues to do with co-curricular activities, issues to do with what isn't examinable in our final examinations. One would say, day by day with commercialization of education. Some of these these foras that were given were treasured. When I was in school, like I've told you in my primary school, Girl Guides, the Boy Scouts, oh my God, was something the administration would think about, would respect. They had days when they put on their uniform. The rest of us were in our other uniform. So that alone, and they were well decorated. You look at this, for example, the Boy Scouts, you look at this young man in that khaki, you know, with the belt, the bonnet, the rope, the whistle, then the cape on their head, the Girl Guides, the same thing. Today, our education system is running away from that. Isn't this a threat to growth in numbers?
Yes, definitely. But I would also like to clarify that the current curriculum that has been developed is focused on developing a child through co-curricular activities. We've had this curriculum for about, the current one was just revised recently. But before this current revision, we had the previous one for more than 50 years. And that really posed a big challenge towards the growth of the movement. And that is why we also capitalized on going into the communities and carrying out community guiding, because we realized that probably there is a niche that we are not addressing as Girl Guides throughout this country. And we found it important to as well reach out to girls who are within the communities to boost our numbers. So guiding now has shifted from only being within the school setting to also accommodate girls and young women within the communities. And that is why you find that, for instance, we have a diversity of people as opposed in terms of professionalism, as opposed to when we only had teachers, for instance, joining the movement. Right now we have quite a number of professions. You'll find lawyers, you'll find computer scientists, you'll find engineers, all embedded under one umbrella of guiding. And that is because we have really tried to diversify our ways in which we recruit our members. Yes.
more recruitment for this noble cause. Now, for a person watching this show, a parent, having a young girl, a daughter very interested in joining, what advice do you have for them? Because of late, many parents, much as you've talked about the new curriculum, many will ask the question,
yes,
are these examinable? These co-curriculum activities, child-centered and all this, may not mean much to many parents. Because they want aggregates, they want what is examinable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would like to encourage each parents that are out there and feel like guiding is a wastage of time. A clear example of what guiding can do. I did not study to be a girl guide, no. I am a computer scientist by profession, but I work with girl guides and young women. So it's important because guiding builds character. You know what you want. I remember after university, my father, when we were enrolling in university, said, Rita, you need to do computer science. You need to focus on this. I was like, yes, Daddy, let me do computer science. I majored in computer science and mathematics. So after university, he wanted me to get a job like any other person. But I told him, Daddy, we're going to have one deal that we're going to make. Let me try my thing for 1 year. If it fails, we shall try your thing. And for me, I believe that it is about passion and letting a child grow and accept or be able to choose. And that is the kind of options that Girl Guides give them. You're able to give that child that kind of freedom. They're able to stand on their own and make decisions that they feel are right for them. As much as you as a parent, you're there to guide them. So I want to encourage parents who feel that this is a waste of time. It builds character. I have not learned public speaking from computer science. I have learned it through guiding. And most of the girls who are within guiding will tell you that their confidence has not been built from school, from the various activities that they are doing in school, but rather from girl guiding. And guiding should not be seen as a threat to education, because we are an informal, non-formal sector of education. We build character, we bring in information that you would not find in the classroom. For instance, how to pitch a tent. You would never find this in class. How to, for instance, you find yourself in a situation where you need to communicate to someone in a time of danger, but you cannot do this by writing a letter, you cannot do this by speaking on a radio. There are certain things that we as Girl Guides have, elements that we have that cannot be found in ordinary young women, cannot be found in ordinary girls and boys. And this for us is what we capitalize on. So education goes hand in hand with girl guiding. That is why you find that most girl guides who are in school top their classes. Reason being, they are given these skills of observation. What X factor do you have as a child to ensure that you pass your books other than reading and cramming? What other things are you able to see within your environment that can help you survive in this world today? And that is what we call being street smart. And for us Girl Guides, that's what we capitalize on as a movement.
Well, one of the qualities I remember of all Girl Guides when I was in school is they were very confident.
Yes.
Very confident young girls. Self-esteem.
Yes.
They would address us even if it was discussions, and you see, yes, there's something extra that this girl gets from this association. Even when they were speaking to you, they look you straight in the eyes. They were confident. They never had these issues of fearing their boys, going out in case it was contesting, running, racing. I think they had that exposure from the various camps and all that you get. But now let's look at the Centenary Celebrations. Yes. What are you having? So
the Centenary Celebrations are basically capitalizing on the 100 years we've had as Girl Guides in existence, particularly in Uganda. World over, we celebrated that in 2010, but here in Uganda, we are celebrating this for this whole year. So we launched our celebrations on Friday at Kololo Airstrip with the First Lady, who happens to be our patron, and various schools and communities in attendance. We expect about 400 people in attendance, and this will help us as well to map out our next journey. On that same day, we shall be launching our new educational program. That is what we are giving girls for the next probably 6 to 10 years. We also be launching the Yes Girls campaign. This is under the exchange program, which is the Youth Exchange South to South, that looks at exchanging girls to have knowledge from different cultures and different communities. So this is a big year for us. We intend to look at all the things that we are doing as Girl Guides and things that we are preparing to do for the next 100 years. So our celebrations are meant to take place up until October, where we shall have various activities taking place, both virtual, now that the world has gone online, and that is to accommodate our sisters within the other 152 countries. And also we shall top up these celebrations with a huge camp happening in October. So this is basically what we've planned out. We are going to do a lot of alms giving. We are planning on a lot of service, blood donation drives, church involvement in the work that we are doing. For instance, we are holding a mass on 21st May at Namugongo for all Catholic Girl Guides and non-Catholic Girl Guides, to see that we create, we collect some money for people that are not able to support themselves. So the different regions that we work with in Uganda are also carrying out various activities at that level, because we are an association that is divided into 12 regions that are looking at capturing all areas within Uganda, and each of these regions has planned a number of activities to mark these 100-year celebrations. So we started last year, but we are crowning up these activities until October. We've been, in the previous week, we've been doing what we call Thinking Day activities. So on Thinking Day, it is an opportunity for us as Girl Guides to look at our sisters all over the world and donate a penny to carry out similar activities, even at global level. So that's what we've been doing the whole year, the whole of last week, and we intend to carry out these activities up until October. Yes.
Very interesting. There we are discussing issues of Girl Guides in Uganda as they mark, that is, 100 years of existence. Well, previously it was so fond of finding Girl Guides during community work.
Yes.
Of late, it's not that common. Of course, one would say we are just coming from COVID-19. Even before COVID-19, some of your activities are either being scaled down or maybe no longer that so much into community. What is happening?
So we do community activities still, but of course the times have changed. The way we do them varies. Some of our services are in particular areas at particular times. But still, we have to, of course, I will still mention COVID, one of the restrictions that we've had for a long time. And probably, as well, most of these activities now are tagged to funding that has been scaled down over the years. And as much as we are carrying them out, we still require a lot of funding to do these particular activities. However, what we encourage our communities to do and our units to do, or schools, is to carry out activities in the areas which surround them. And that is what most of our girls are doing within their school communities and the communities in which they live anyway. Yeah.
Well, time is not so much on our side. And as we wind up, what is your final shot to Ugandans, and very specific to the young girls, but also the parents?
First and foremost, I want to welcome each and everyone to our movement. It is a movement for girls, but also welcomes men and boys as friends of guiding. You don't have to be a woman to join the movement. You can be a man and still contribute positively to the cause. I also encourage schools that don't have guiding yet to enroll into this. We are willing to come and support you to ensure that we have girls, more girls and young women joining this movement. For our next 100 years, our theme for this year is 100 years of empowering lives. We're here to support you, we're here to empower more lives, and here to ensure that we see more girls becoming adult leaders, becoming women of value, and becoming women of substance. So we encourage you to join the movement. Those of you who tell us that I was once a girl guide, the door is open, please come and join. Let us have a wonderful 100-year celebration, and let us continue to ensure that Uganda Girl Guides Association is top-notch in supporting the youth in the work that they do. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That is Rita Kihembo, who happens to be the chairperson of the organizing committee of the Centenary Celebrations as they mark 100 years. Well, parents, let's support our young girls that join this movement, because it is aimed at creating self-esteem, building character, and of course the future leaders of tomorrow. You've just been looking at our screen some of the most influential ladies in this country that have been part of the Girl Guide movement. So it is a movement not only in school, even at community-based level where recruitment is happening. Be part of this noble cause to transform, to build character, to build strong, resilient people in our country. Well, I'll leave you with Ruben. Is coming up with the world of sports as we continue to mourn the death of the Speaker of Parliament. Have a lovely day. God bless you.